Welcome back, fellow geeks. Now, this is the first episode of a new series I am doing. It is 3D printed news in the past week, and there is a lot going on every week, so I felt like this is the best way to convey all the great, wonderful things happening in the 3DP industry. And this week, as the inaugural week, I'm talking about a few great companies: Xkelet, XYZPrinting, and some other great projects going on in the current 3DP atmosphere. Now, if you don't know who Xkelet is, they are a European country making some really cool revolutionary casts to replace the standard plaster casts that are currently on the market. Now, there are some really great benefits about this, and if you've ever been in a cast, in a full plaster cast, you know how annoying that dry skin gets and how itchy it becomes. And this is one of the key benefits to this, is instead of having a solid plaster cast, you have the ability of having a custom cast to wash the areas and even rinse them off with water, as you do not have to worry about ruining the cast as it's waterproof. Now, another great benefit about this is it is a fully customizable cast, so that way you can have the problem areas targeted and have a little more structure in those areas, and not have a full solid cast affecting some of the areas that are not affected by the injury, which can cause a lot of problems with muscles deteriorating and some other problems with the traditional plaster cast. Now, a few drawbacks of this is the price. It is quite expensive, and their first target economy is private physicians and hospitals. As this is quite expensive, it is kind of hard for some of your public insurance and hospitals to jump on this and kind of pay, as a cast starts around $450. Now, another drawback from these 3D printed casts is it does take some time to print these, as it is now modeled with a 3D scanner attached to an iPad, which is pretty cool if you ask me, as we're starting to kind of tie all of our technologies back into each other, as 3D scanning and basically iPad technology is kind of stepping it up. It's really interesting to see some of these things. Now, they do have different programs for different hospitals and physicians, starting as low as $25 a month, £25 a month, all the way up to £165 a month, which is kind of expensive, but compared to supplies and materials required for a standard plastered cast, that is not a bad price. Now, this includes their 3D scan software, and their premium package does include the iPad and scanner. So, you are not out trying to buy a scanner and iPad with the correct specifications to do all this. Next in the news this week, as 3D printers gear up for more industrial uses, Taiwanese company XYZPrinting is teaming up with Toys R Us to sell their newest printer aimed at younger children, the DaVinci Mini Maker. Now, with flashy, childish colored body, allows you to give your child a 3D printer for Christmas for around $269. Now, it is also currently being pre-ordered on Amazon for slightly lower than the market value if you're looking for a really good deal. Now, the specs released for the Mini Maker is about the same as the DaVinci Junior, but it's made with your child in mind, so it's supposed to be made slightly safer and slightly harder to get hurt, which is great for your younger children, as they love to stick their hands in places where it really shouldn't be. And if you know a 3D printer, there are many of those. Now, if you haven't heard of XYZPrinting, they are a company founded in 2013 focused on affordable printers to help get printers in all households. And as they expect Mattel's ThinkMaker release sometime in 2017, they're not the only ones trying to take advantage of this evolving market, which is great news if you are interested in the STEM and STEAM programs as a parent, teacher, or a young adult looking forward in the future of technologies, as this is allowing these programs to have a cheaper way to get into 3D printing, as it is really our children and younger generations' technology as it continues to move forward and evolve. Now, a 3D printed mannequin is making 3DP headlines this week, and is not due to how fashionably dressed he is. Researchers at TU Delft scanned Dutch Olympic cyclist Tom Dumoulin using 150 DSLR cameras to create a model to test out upcoming suits to improve aerodynamics in racing. The university did this in a very low-tech way by setting up 150 high megapixel DSLRs to take a photo at the exact same moment, creating a photo model of the cyclist and the pose of him riding his bicycle. Now, this was printed on 8 Ultimakers, totaling around 50 hours of print time, all done in the name of science. This mannequin allows researchers to test aerodynamics in suits in a wind tunnel, which has never been done before, and has potential applications for many other sports, including swimming, speed skating, and similar events where drag is a major issue. Now, this is great for 3D printing news and technology, as the applications for this really kind of are endless, and as we move forward with 3D printing becoming more and more prevalent in different technologies, this really can help out. Now, lastly, in this week's episode, in the spirit of 3D Hub's latest top 25 printers list, Amazon has a very similar list that they released this week as well, and is compiling the best-selling printers in September on Amazon.com. And at number 1 is the MonoPrice Maker Select Mini, which I have done a review on and can tell you it is a great printer for the cost if you're trying to get into 3D printing. Now, some other great printers that made it on there, some other MonoPrice printers, XYZPrinting, FlashForge, and Robo3D, which I find very interesting, as Robo3D was number 17 in the top 25 in September, which is also the same time Robo3D released their newest specs and Kickstarter program for the R2 and the C2 models, which be released sometime in early 2017 if you are a backer. Now, for more news and weekly updates, subscribe to this channel and like the video. Now, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please feel free to comment below. It really does help me out, and I try to get to those as quickly as possible. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. There'll be many more episodes to come as the weeks move on, and 3D printing news becomes more and more prevalent. Thank you for watching this week. Until next week, thank you.